Cool. Yeah, man, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, baby moms and baby dads all over the world. Welcome to another episode of Take It to the Rim podcast with myself, Rods, aka Bang, and I ain't talking about Mike.
Good.
Bang!
Whoa! I thought it was Mike Breen out
there. Man's really quoting Mike Breen.
We ain't talking about Mike though.
God damn.
There's some other guys that are on that.
Bang bang.
And they said the sequel in that.
No.
I'm here today with Clipper Cam.
What's good?
And LA Jules. Bang!
I wasn't ready for that one. Oh my God. Speaking of bang.
So before we get onto the topic of NBA players and firearms. Again, part two. I just want you guys to make sure that you like this video. Press post notifications, subscribe, comment, share, follow, whatever platform you are listening on. Do all of that. All of that must be done because that's what we're here for. We're here for that. You're here for us. Come on, man. That's what we're on. Otherwise, we turn into Wick. Bang!
Oh, shit.
So, apparently now, the public have to be ducking and diving when certain guys from the NBA come around in the truck. So, if you haven't seen already, Wick, Morant, in the hood, apparently, whether the video resurfaced or not, was caught on IG Live, showboating a gun.
For the second time.
Again. In the space of 2 months. Obviously now they say that the video resurfaced, but it's possible because like I say, I'm thinking, is someone that dumb to be doing the exact same thing 2 months later? Or was it something that resurfaced, they didn't catch it because it was quick, but because now it's happened, have they gone back to see, because I'm thinking, where would it have resurfaced on? Because
it's IG Live. You can't normally recover those kind of videos, isn't it?
That's the thing. If someone's screen recorded, I don't know, but it's like, well, I saw it on Twitter. I saw that, but I never actually saw anything on. I don't know. Like I know you can go on people's Instagram and see when one person was last live. I'm sure you can. So, or I saw you can.
Yeah, but it's been deleted. I think they deleted it.
Yeah, I'd
what
hope
he's done
so.
is deleted it. But the problem is that when you watch the video over and over again. Like, it's not like even his bedroom has it. I think even his bedroom was caught off surprise. But then again, I'm not going to blame anyone bar Jar because you, 100%. As a grown ass man,
honestly,
like doing it once is already bad enough. And the NBA went light on you. Like we already discussed when this issue came out. You could have you could have been banned for the entire season. They could have said, see you next season. But they gave you 8-game ban. Because you missed time, it actually ended up being what was it, a 4-game ban? But like actual games that he missed.
Obviously he missed more games, but like once he was allowed back with the team, he was playing like within a week or something.
That's what I mean. So it's like really and truly, you got off so lightly, and you're back here again. Like, and I don't understand if this is a resurfaced video, why that is being posted by your friend on his Instagram live. But I don't believe you can repost the Instagram live, which is, it's very confusing as to how it could be resurfaced. It seems like it's happened again. But then if it has happened again, there's serious questions about him as a player, where his head's at, him as a man, him as a basketball player. We're talking about someone that is on millions and millions of pounds, guaranteed. You can even get injured and you're still guaranteed. You know how hard it is in this life to say, we don't have to, I am guaranteed millions of pounds, even if I don't Even if don't show up.
If I don't show up,
Like I don't want to say it like that, but it's the truth. Even if I don't show up, that doesn't happen. And sometimes in elite level sport, when you're guaranteed that you deserve it, you've worked hard to get to that point. Why the hell are you blowing it? Like, you're an idiot. There's nothing else to say, Jar, but you are an idiot. Like, you are actually a dickhead. Like, I don't like calling people this, but bro, you are a dickhead, because there are millions of people that would like to be in your shoes, that would take this opportunity more seriously than you could ever imagine. You're out here trying to be hood, and what are you doing? Every single person, even the real gangsters, are saying, what are you doing? Everyone's questioning you. I'm seeing Brick Baby, all these hood guys that are actually on the roads don't want you to do it. Normal people don't want you to do it. Your family doesn't want you to do it. So why are you out here with guns? Like, what is wrong with you?
What the only thing that makes sense is that he had the gun to keep away from people who attended public school. That's the only thing that can make sense, because
What do you mean?
hear me out, because this guy went to private school. He was in slacks and a polo, doing bleached high tops and all them things there. Like, what are you doing? It makes no sense. Like, and it's very easy to be like, oh, we gotta blame the company he keeps, bro. No one can make you, or listen, take this gun, hold it, make sure you record yourself, or you show it and flash it off. No one's making you do that. It's your own stupid choice.
Yeah.
I don't understand why you're putting yourself in this position. Like, if it's resurfaced and everything and all that gets cleared, cool. It is.
No, it's not cool.
It's not cool.
I'm in terms of, like, if it resurfaced, obviously that was when he was making the mistakes. So either way, he was still stupid no matter what. But it's like, you need to honestly think, like, what, like, really and truly, you're living your dream. You wanted to play basketball. You literally worked hard, especially at Murray State. You worked hard to get noticed, to get picked up. He was number 2 pick. Like, come on. Why do you need to? No one's saying you can't listen to NBA Youngboy and do or whatever, and rapping the lyrics and all them things there. No one's saying you can't do that. Listen to the song. Say the lyrics, cool. Don't be the lyrics, bruv. Like, what are you doing? At this point, even a water gun, no, put down. Bro, I don't want... Hold an apple.
No,
yeah? Hold some grapes. Yeah. I don't know what else you need to do, but you need to get, like... Be my thing. I think he needs to cut his dreads. Maybe then he'll think, okay, actually, maybe I'm not a gangster, and I'm just remembering. Maybe when he cuts off, he'll say, okay, I did go to private school. I'm in NBA. Cool. Let me, because before the dreads, there wasn't these issues. There were just more. It was more, yeah, you know.
He was
very
younger.
greedy things. He was, yeah. But I'm saying the high top days were high days. Man got dreads turned dreader.
Oh my God.
What's going on
With
bad man in favela? Allow it, man. Allow it.
With everything that's happened with Ja Morant, and whether this is an old video or a new video, I don't care. And anyone who keeps talking about his boys is an idiot, is a fool.
100%.
Because you can clearly see the brother tried to put the phone away. He tried to hide the phone the second that Ja pulled out the blicky, whatever you want to call it.
Blicky.
When he pulled out the stick, you know, his boy tried to put the phone away. But also, at the same time, you can blame people's company as much as you want. But it doesn't mean that he's not the problem here, innit?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that his people are great people. I don't know them. But from Ja Morant's the one that's in front of TVs and screens and stuff like that. And there's way too much coming out about this guy that has nothing to do with basketball.
Honestly.
If this video is old, you know, it's one thing. I think we have to talk about the fact that this guy was supposed to go to rehab, right?
Yeah.
Did you go to rehab? Because the video we saw initially of him in the club with a gun in Denver was one problem. That's fine. And everyone's like, oh, he's like, no, I'm sorry, whatever. Either way, bro, you've been caught on another occasion, whether it's before or not. That just shows up to us that this is something that you've been doing. This ain't a one-time occurrence. Everyone's trying to say, oh, he slipped up. You can't slip up twice. You can't slip up twice. Can you not see the floor is slippery? You can't slip up twice. It don't make no sense. not only that he's done it before, so at this point he deserves a more severe punishment. Because I think he does anyway. He's not learning his lesson. Because I saw a video of him partying in the club, drinking crazy, and everyone was saying before how the reason he starts acting like this because he's been abusing, like, drinking too much, innit? Mm-hmm. I think a lot of vets would be in the ear telling you, relax, man. Stephen Adams was saying these boys were going out and partying too much and doing X, Y, Z and all that. And yes, it's off season. You can do what you want, bro. You can do whatever you want in the off season. But if you just gotten in trouble for doing something that you shouldn't have been doing,
keep your head down,
bro. I'm not even saying if you don't want to keep your head, that's fine, innit? But wear a disguise. You know, put on a different hairstyle, wear a hat, whatever. But like, you're a celebrity going into a club, partying, drinking from the bottle, not even pouring out shots, drinking from the bottle, and you think no one's gonna have a camera on you. Like, the decisions being made are just it's not making sense to me. I'd hope, and I said on when it happened the first time, I hope he gets better. I hope he learns from his mistakes, whatever. Yeah. But I just don't really feel like he is. And at this point, I don't really want to keep talking about someone who's an NBA player where I'm not talking about his game. Because when your team needed you throughout the season, you were missing games because you got suspended. The way it's sounding, you're about to get a serious suspension this time, innit? Yeah. So, you know, with everything going on in Memphis, Dylan Brooks, whatever, this is the mad thing as well. Dylan Brooks is being painted as a villain for doing the talking, but John Morant's out here waving rounds.
That's what I was saying. That's what I was saying before, bro. I said it the last time. I was like, everything about Dylan Brooks has been on the court. As much as he chats his shit and he does these weird hairstyles and he does his dancing and he's annoying, it's on the court. Yeah. And I got proved right because Jar's gone and done it again, and it's taken everything off. Like, the Memphis Grizzlies have had a very, very topsy-turvy season. Like, the highs of being, I think, the 3rd seed, if I'm right, and playing some really good basketball.
They were 2nd seed. They held the 2nd seed.
Were they 2nd or 3rd? No, they were 2nd. They faced us, isn't it? We were 7th. Yeah. So being the 2nd seed, they held on to that, playing some good basketball in stretches over the course of the season. And then the downside in, obviously, the whole Dylan Brooks saga and everything on the bench, under no circumstances at the end, losing the series in the way they did to the Lakers and issues with players getting injured towards the back end of the season. And now you, again. Like, we're not talking about this has happened once and you've, like, it's already a headline and a highlight of the NBA season. You've gone and done it again. It's like, are you trying to involve yourself because you're not in the playoffs? I don't get it. Like, you are someone that is held responsible and accountable for so many things when it comes to your family, when it comes to your friends, clearly not, when it comes to your organization and what you serve. And as a man, as a superstar, not only within the league, I'm not even going to talk about Nike and all these other deals and brands and sponsors that he's got. They've got their faces and their things of Jar for them because he's a representative of them because he's their star lead athlete. You're representing all these people. You're letting every single one of them down again. Ban this guy for half the season, man.
All those kids that have
without pay,
who have $1 in the dream.
Take his pay because that's sometimes the only way you can affect someone. And it's like, once bitten, twice shy. How many times are you going to learn?
The better thing about that as well, yeah? For this reason, I hope it didn't happen. It didn't happen recently. I hope it was old. Yeah. Because he already lost 30-something M's from not making All-NBA. And a lot of people were asking, why didn't he make All-NBA? Well, if we're being honest, the media definitely said, nah, we can't praise him. Yeah, we can't reward him for how he was playing. And yes, it's a bit fucked up. It's more to do with than the game, but that's just what happens. I've been saying agendas with the media. I've decided a lot of things: MVPs, defensive players, all these kind of things are influenced by them, innit? So if you're telling me that now this is messing up your bread, I hope this happened ages ago, man. Because if this is your response to that after not making All NBA and missing out on 30 mil, and you're like, yeah, you know what, cool, is what it is. Back to pissing about on the roads, man. And like you said, like the real Crips out there are telling him stop throwing that shit up. Because he, what I think, you said Brick Baby, right?
Yeah.
He was saying how he's not like Draymond Green. He's not giving back to the community or nothing like that. John Morant ain't never done nothing for their community. So why is he throwing that up? Why is he doing this? Why is he doing that? He's not from there. He's pissing about, man.
It's a tricky one. So what if you was to sit down with John Morant right now? What would your advice be to him? To
slap him one time still, innit? No, man.
You slap him?
Yeah. Bro, you're
that's it.
No, I feel like, honestly, no, because in my head, yeah, I don't know, and I don't want to talk about his parenting style or anything like that or nothing like that. I just struggle to believe, that you've got like actual adults in your life, like that are related to you that are not G-checking you. Because how many times can you fuck around and do this? And maybe they didn't know whatever in it, but at the same time, like your dad lives next door to you. Like that's a well documented thing. Your dad lives next door to you, innit? Why is no one patterning this? He's 23 in it. It's not like he's a 35-year-old man making dumb decisions. He's messing up. Yes, he's fucking up. But at the same time, bro, like you can very much get involved and make sure he's not doing that anymore. So I'm a bit confused.
My brother's 23 in it, and he obviously different mentality, different mindset.
Yeah,
Jar's been exposed to a lot of money at a young age and the lifestyle, playing a lot of things, innit?
Mm-hmm.
But there's levels to this. Like there's stupid shit that you can do at age 23 where we're talking. I don't know, like you said, the whole going out, drinking from the bottle in the club and all of that. You can class that as reckless because, like you said, you're tainting your image. Image as a superstar, image as a celebrity. You're out here drinking from the bottle. It's a bit crazy. That's one thing. But you're out here with guns, trying to be hood and trying to be cool. You're taking that to another level. That's not even stupid. Bro, like, that is arrest worthy. And, like, when you're doing stuff that you're now saying, the Jakes can get involved. The police can get involved. For those that don't know what the Jakes are. The police can get involved and everything. End of the day, you're now taking it to the criminal side of it. You're not going from the legal stupidness. You're going to like that side of it. Yeah. And when you're correctly saying, when police asked him about I don't know if it's the Denver incident, about if the gun was allowed because of state laws and all of that.
If it was his as well.
His and his state. Now you're impeaching with the government and laws, which are now potentially talking about jail terms and so on and so forth.
Just real quick, I've just seen, came a while ago, Ja Morant is expected to receive a significant suspension if that was indeed a firearm in that video.
If it was, everyone saw it was, man.
Yeah.
So
that's what Woj said earlier. I watched the whole report and I think, it's peak. Like, it's very, really irresponsible. And, like, I hate to see, because I'm an advocate for all the man them getting paid, everyone eating, everyone getting their bags. But if that's the only way Ja is going to learn, then unfortunately it may have to be, because long term, he needs to pattern up. Like, you can't.
100%.
I think anything else we see from this guy, I think he's out of the league.
One quick thing, because obviously when you do stuff like this, it gives people who are in the media, or just people who think their opinion matters, like us even, to be fair, an opportunity to talk about you, whether it be good or bad. And Kwame Brown decided to jump on, make a video and absolutely slaughter Ja. He was saying how, what he did is stupid, he's a dumbass, which none of it's wrong. The funniest thing in my opinion that he said was, I heard an NBA young boy, he said, you are NBA Dumbboy. Which, you know what, I laughed, I thought it was very funny. The downside to it is that he started saying, oh, you're just a nigger. I didn't like that, Kwame Brown, because now you're painting pictures about a whole race, your own race even, and you already have a southern accent, so I'm already a bit sus about you anyway. But
Kwame Brown has no credibility to speak, bro.
No, of course not, he was a bum. But at the same time, bro, I feel like you should listen to someone who bounced out of the league like that.
Because he's seen it firsthand.
He's done it
all that money.
The worst thing with his situation is, he didn't bounce out of the league because he was out here waving guns. He bounced out of the league because he was a bum. Like he just wasn't as talented as everyone thought he was going to be when he got drafted. But I feel like you should listen to people who have had the misfortune of being up there, like really on top of the world, being an NBA player in the league, young, making loads of money. Was Kwame Brown the number one pick?
Yeah.
Kwame Brown was the number one pick, John's number 2, by the way. So he knows like about these kind of things coming into the league. And yes, he wasn't anyway. I'm not saying he's good at all. I'm not even saying he's as good as Joe or anything like that. I'm just saying he came into the league as a very young guy, and he thought he found success. And quickly he found out this ain't working, and he wasn't in the league much longer after that. So I think it's super important that Ja takes these as like learning lessons, innit? But it can't. Bro, it can't. Like this, he's going to get suspended for a long time, so Memphis is going to be hurt by this.
Yeah, it's looking like it's going to be the same as Gilbert Arenas. What did he get?
I thought Gilbert Arenas missed the whole season.
The whole season? Oh, right.
Gilbert Arenas struggled to get back into the league after that anyway. That was that was pretty much the end of his career, for being obviously injuries as well. But like that point in there, by the time Gilbert proper came back, they drafted John Wall.
Flipping Gilbert Arenas, well, I don't know if you tried to reach out to him or not, but That's one person I need to look. He messed around.
I wouldn't talk to Gil. Gil's a wild boy as well. Like
Yeah, but
Gil
the
didn't learn from all the shit that happened to him.
Yeah, no, but the thing is, I think in
But
this,
he's
even
older
what
now.
he's saying, what he's been saying about
Yeah.
the situation, it's not like, nah, Gil, you're moving mad.
Yeah.
He's actually saying some sense, like, you need to keep your head down. Anything that comes out when you're like, it needs to be positive. Basketball, that's all it needs to be. It needs to be good, positive stuff. Basketball. And so even if you're flipping, doing something with the prisoners, atoning for your mistakes, saying like you're realizing, listen, this stuff can actually make you end up in a very bad situation. So I want to give back to, because I'm now also taking a mick, because some people have been in the same situation and they've been put in jail for how many years and lost their life.
Facts.
So he needs to kind of clear that up. But
Stop taking shit for granted as well.
so I think overall with this, like, Ja Morant really needs to fix up his act. He needs to change his persona in the league, what his reputation and everything. He's got a lot of work to do, like a lot of work.
Don't be surprised. Like I promise you, teams are watching this here and saying, Memphis saying we need to go get ourselves a proper vet. Houston are saying the same. We need to make sure we go get ourselves a vet as well.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they have the same kind of problems, but like all this shit is just, I think, not having the older statesmen or enough older statesmen around to G-check these guys, innit, and stop them from doing stuff like that, innit? Stephen Adams isn't even 30 years old yet, and you're telling me he's the oldest guy in the...
He isn't.
No, he's not. He's one because he looks it and he's been around for so long, but he's actually not. He's 28, I think.
I think he got drafted in 2013.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think that's
not
why
really.
someone like, sorry to go off topic, but Udonis Haslem is so vital.
Yeah.
You see the guys like Iguodala, some of these vets that aren't playing minutes, and people say, oh, why is Haslem not playing?
That's why they're there, man.
This is exactly the reason they're there, because this is like, Haslem has been there for 20 years. You will never ever hear anything about the Heat because he and Spo keeps that in check. Spo straight to Haslem.
Not even just Spo, Pat Riley.
Pat Riley. There's a lot of things in these
They won't
franchises that
tolerate
have
stuff like
culture, and when they've got someone that embodies that culture through different transitional periods, you're talking
keep them
about
around.
LeBron, Wade times, Bosch times, then moving on to when Butler's here now and everything. That the same thing kind of continues on, and because Memphis haven't got that, they've traded some of the older stars like Gasol, Conley's, the guys that were there for a long time are gone, and sometimes it's the repercussions. To me, obviously money accepted, money wise, because of what Conley was earning, but Conley's, Gasol's retired. He wasn't retired. He's still around, but Conley especially, you have to have guys like that that are just old vets that can still be around, because it's important. Even Houston's very important.
To whip them into shape, bro.
Yeah, Tony Allen, bro.
I thought that'd be a good shout. But we can see how personnel is very, very important to team vets. Like, just real quick, even like when Jimmy moved out of pocket, Haslam was right there to correct him straight, and even those, and it's calm, man.
And that's a grown man as well. Like.
Exactly. So yeah, you can see Memphis are really missing this, and hopefully they fill this gap in their team of actual vet to help them. Talking about dangerous activities and wild things happening. I'm feeling 51 pains in my body.
Oh, how many?
Everybody 51.
Oh god damn!
Because certain man have 51 questions to answer. And them guys better answer the question. Yeah, I don't care if you're ill or not. There's 51 questions you have to answer.
Let me check something
and you
before we
go
go
answer
into this
all these questions by fire, by force, by step back, by dunk. You gonna answer these questions. So, if you don't know what I'm talking about, Jason Tatum put a classic Game 7 performance, 51 points in a Game 7 against the Sixers. Now, Tatum proved me wrong because I was moving a bit mad with Tatum. I asked questions.
Wait, hold on. I need to get this on camera.
It's not even. I'm not even saying I was wrong. Yeah.
No. Rods.
I'm not even saying I was wrong.
Me and Cam have just
Let's
looked.
try to skip past it. Like,
We've looked on Instagram, and 83% people have said that you need to sing an apology.
And those 83% people can understand there's 83 reasons why you will get smoked. I am not singing for shit. Okay?
Then you need to sing an apology to
I
Tatum.
already done my due diligence with the Knicks. I ain't doing that again. I ain't doing that. My mum saw that. I ain't doing that again, bro. Yeah. I ain't doing that again. She laughed, bro. All right, listen. there's two sides to the story.
Mhm.
First of all, I asked a question about Tatum. I said, "Is Jason Tatum a superstar?" Because the footage is there. I asked a question. Everyone came to throw a punch at me. I'm asking a question. Some people might say, "Oh, he's not." Some people might say he is. Some people might say he's right there because recently, even before, people were saying he's knocking on the door and he's right there. So why can't I ask the question if it wasn't
How
confirmed?
recent was that?
6 months ago.
Wow.
Yeah, he was knocking on the door. So of course now, yes, he done some superstar activities. 16 in the fourth in Game 6, 51 points in a Game 7. Now the highest scoring points in a Game 7.
History, yes.
So and he was really out there doing a mazzoline. Like what's mad is that the fact that he ain't trying to get a switch on a Tobias Harris on a Maxi. He said, "Hey, Embiid,
He was targeting
come
Joel.
here
He was
and get this work." He got worky, bro.
He was targeting him.
He, like Embiid was like, fam, you have lifted up an MVP trophy recently for Jason Tatum to come into this series, go into the game, call you out, bring you to the island, California breeze, fam. Are you not ashamed? Embiid, you need to download shame. You need to download shame. Man's all smiling at the end. Like, fam, come on, man. It's pissing me off. This is why I like because you need enemies. They've been whipping your ass for years. All you can do is smile.
For years.
Yeah,
Bro. You was crying on the mic with your son in your hands, and now you're gonna cry again for the wrong reasons. Nah, man. Have shame, man. I'm telling you, have shame.
He was sadder after the Kawhi buzzer beater in the corner.
Bro,
Obviously,
he
it's a
was
close-
crying.
But it was embarrassing. Let's talk. So when we talk about bags, yeah, and this is when we have.
We
like-
need to stay on this.
no,
topic.
this is serious bag talk, though, isn't it? When we talk about bags and talk about side bags, backpacks, man bags, just do it bags. Jason Tatum has an LV duffel of a bag, bro. Let me tell you something.
I'm talking see-through as well,
Bro,
transparent.
he did an in-out. I think he did an in-out with his right hand. And
No,
then
it was a left.
The left hand did a side
off,
step to the left.
He done it off.
And he hit a free. I was like,
off the screen,
this boy is
in
serious.
and out.
Obviously, he started the game hot anyway with like layups and started working his way further and further away from the basket.
Yeah.
By the time we got to that third quarter, bro, he was like a taller Steph Curry. I'd never seen him shoot like that before. I don't think anyone's seen Jason Tatum shoot like that before. And the fact that he was doing it in a Game 7, obviously in an elimination game, when it mattered the most. And Philly had that game close in the first half.
That's the thing.
Philly had that game super close.
What
in the
did
first
Doc
half.
Rivers say? Because they was down by 3 at halftime.
You know what Doc said? Nothing.
And you
Doc
know what
didn't
he
say,
did as well.
"Hey guys, come on, let's go."
You know what?
Come on.
You know what?
Do it again.
Like, and the fact that Jason Tatum he's lighting you guys up. And you waited till you was down 15, almost 20 points to call a timeout.
I'm pretty sure I saw Boston hit at least 3 or 4 back-to-back three-pointers, pure off momentum alone, before Doc even thought about calling a timeout. Not only that, yeah, do you know what, that game for me, yeah, I think it would have gone completely different if 2 things didn't happen. The Harden flagrant foul, where he went up for a layup and hit Jaylen Brown in the face.
That's the
That
one.
was a big momentum swing, just because obviously Philly were going to score at that moment in time. He did the foul anyway. Boston didn't count anyway. But then Boston had 2 shots and the ball. That's possession. And then the one where I can't pronounce George's
Niang.
that bum, yeah, that scrub.
Why
He's
did he-
been
why
talking
did he
bare
touch-
on
Where he
podcast.
not even just
No, he
touched.
grabbed his
Jaylen
leg.
Brown's trying to run back here, and this brother grabs his knee to pull him back. Excuse me. First of all, the refs need to sort that out anyway, because why is Jaylen Brown getting a technical for
Yeah, you
something
can't be
like
doing
that?
that.
If you didn't do that, you guys don't even seen what happened. You had to go review it. Niang should have been thrown out of the game because he's not even on the court.
You're not allowed
Why
to do that.
Why is he doing that? Why is he acting like that? This is when at that point I was like, okay, yeah, they done fucked up. Because I thought at that point Jaylen Brown was gonna go crazy, because Jaylen Brown at that point, from what I saw, I said, oh, he's about to have a big game, and he had 25. He stayed late in the game, like he was stat padding at the end. He wanted his numbers, but he made sure he got his 25. But Jason Tatum, they had no answer for him, and the worst part is, yeah, everybody was getting it. I saw him posting up Maxi. I saw him giving James Harden the work. He told Embiid, come out on the perimeter, come get some of this too. I think the only person who I didn't see him like officially cook was PJ Tucker.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I don't know why PJ wasn't on Jason Tatum, maybe that was a Doc decision. I don't think it mattered at that point. Everyone was getting the work. Tobias Harris too, getting the work. I think Jason Tatum fed everyone.
Yeah, literally fed everyone, and the way he smoked Tobias Harris's layup as well was disgusting. And it was just like, there was a lot of questions. Like you said, yes, you should have put PJ. No matter what, I'm putting PJ Tucker because you put Tobias Harris on him, who you'd think that would be a decent matchup for him. Bad. Made sense in terms of height, tall defender. Yeah, he was getting cooked. He weren't as fast as him, and because Jason Tatum's too shifty with it.
Yeah, man.
And Tobias Harris ain't a defender like that. Yeah, he was getting cooked. The only person who really actually made sense was PJ Tucker because he's been kind of.
We've seen him guard some of the best forwards in the league. Yeah, we've seen that.
And he's going to be very physical when you're physical with Tatum as well, it helps. Didn't happen. No double teams will come in as well. Like, I don't understand what on earth was going on the Philly side. But like I say, like you said, those events...
No, it's crazy.
Literally changed everything.
I saw Philly did send a few doubles, but they weren't very good. So there was one where because Jason was just taking his time. I remember he dribbled up the court. He got to about like halfway between the halfway line and the 3-point line. Yeah. They sent a double to him. I think it was PJ Tucker and Maxey. Kicked it to Al Horford. They had a man for Al Horford. Al Horford did one like little spin turn. Kicked to Jaylen Brown, wide open 3. They can't, because Boston have legit 5 3-point shooters on the court at all times when Robert Williams isn't there.
Yeah,
there's nothing you can't double them like that, man. Right. And if you are, you need to make sure your guys are ready for it. But you know what? It would be one thing if Tatum was cooking, and Philly could at least answer it. Philly stopped scoring completely. Like the momentum had completely swung. James Harden went back to being James Harden. Like he had two very good games in this playoff series, and maybe he overworked himself, but he just couldn't sustain it. He had a very was it 9? He had 9, 8, and 6 or something like that.
No points in the fourth.
Yeah, he had
no points or shots in the fourth, and that happened last year.
Yeah, 7 assists.
9, 7, and 6.
Yeah, and 6 rebounds.
Yeah, no points in the fourth.
Ben Simmons had 5 points in the fourth, by the way.
But in fairness to Harden, I doubt he even played that much of the fourth, bro. I doubt he played.
He played 41 minutes.
Yeah, but how much of that do you think was in the fourth quarter? Though?
Yeah, towards
like
the back
3 minutes probably.
Yeah.
But like, because if we're being honest, bro, the game was done. The second they let that third quarter happen, the game was done.
Yeah.
There was no coming back from that because and it's not even just that. It's not like Tatum was done. Tatum took a little break and started letting other people get their shots, and then the second he was ready again, he just made sure to secure it. They wanted. I think he was on 40. I think he had 41 at one point or 42. I can't remember which one it was. And after that, okay, yeah, you can sub him out now. He don't need to be in the game.
Yeah, 40. He was 42.
He was like, nah, I ain't done yet. I ain't done yet.
But I said I need him to get 50 because yesterday what I watched, firstly, was absolutely incredible from Tatum. Game, like, for his legacy, his career, like, when you're talking about things that put you on a map as, like, legacies and generations, and that was absolutely epic. Like, we're talking 51 points in a Game 7. Game 7s are so, that's when defenses go OTT. We're talking, I've watched a few Game 7s in my life. Everything is tetchy, it's tight, it's people are nervous to even go to them because everything's on you. There's no tomorrow. If you win or you lose, you'll go home. And when I was looking at even like some of the stats, like Tatum, first 3 quarters of Game 6, 3 points. Last 5 quarters of the series, 67 points. Like, when you're talking about a guy that's literally created his legacy was here, is now gone to another level. And when people want to question him as a basketballer, there's not many things you can do. Like Tatum, I saw the stat annoyingly. I don't know if I have it saved, but he has 50 points, obviously in the regular season, playoff game, a Game 7, a All-Star game. Like Tatum, yeah, he has a regular season 50-point game, play-in 50-point game, All-Star 50-point game, playoff game, and a Game 7. This is Jason Tatum. And end of the day, what we witnessed last night, outside of the absolute shocking what we were going to but from Philly, but again, the weapons that the Celtics have got, it's hard to really look past them. And they had a hurdle and a challenge of 3-2 down. But with their bench scoring, I mean, the whole team yesterday went, what was it? They hit 45.5% from the 3, 15 for 33, 47.1% from the field. I mean, yeah, it was a disaster. I mean, 7 steals, team steals, 7 team blocks, 43 team rebounds. Yeah, they absolutely battered them.
So my question to you lot is, do you think the lights were too bright for Embiid and Harden? Do you think it was Boston's defense? It can be a combination of all, but like there has to be one thing that has to stand out.
I think it was because I think it's the lights because Embiid is 0-3 in Game 7s.
Yeah,
following Doc's pass footpath. So we got to be careful there. And the thing is, right. Embiid looked. I don't want to say like proper nervous, but a bit nervous or kind of uncomfortable. Because when I knew this happened is because for the start of the game, I don't understand why he does it as well. He's turned into a jump shooter.
Yeah,
and
man.
It's very annoying. Like, cool, I understand you got that mid-range free, but get going first.
You know why that is though?
What?
Because Boston have a defensive stopper, a Joel Embiid stopper in Al Horford.
I don't know how this guy. But the thing is, this is what's annoying is that when he started to actually go into the post against Horford, it started to work a bit because I'm just saying like they were sending more doubles and at one point there was a triple team as well, and it was like, okay, this is obviously going to create tension because even if you're posting up Horford, someone's help side is coming no matter what. So okay, cool, you can kick it out to help side, but you've literally got to do what you know. Okay, cool, go into the post, get your buckets from there. You're an MVP, you're a skilled big, one of the most skilled bigs. Go in the post against this old man and use your moves, use your strength, use them elbows, do all of that. But you're out here turning into a jump shooter, and then it's just like, come on, man, this is not how you're supposed to be.
I think you're right. I do think the lights were a bit too bright for
100%.
Embiid. But at the same time, Boston had a perfect game plan for Embiid. I think they just said to themselves, if we're going to lose this game, it's because everyone else had an outstanding game. Because Tobias Harris started really, really hot, kept them in the game early. Yeah. PJ Tucker I think he had like 11 points.
12, I think it was.
In the first quarter. Like he was hitting corner threes. I was like, okay, yeah, this could be long. But they never managed to get it going for Harden. And Boston, they had Al Horford playing man-to-man defense on Joel Embiid. And anytime that guy put his back to the basket, Marcus Smart was coming in to swipe the ball. Yep. Robert Williams was playing help defense as well. I'll be honest, them starting Robert Williams, in my opinion, was the turning point in this series because they now have someone who can defend Joel Embiid and Al Horford, but also they have another rim protector if anyone else starts slashing to the basket in Robert Williams. And PJ Tucker was pretty much a non-factor prior to this game. Yeah. He wasn't doing a great deal. I think they said he had like 11 points all series prior to those points, something like that. I can't remember. But for him to be playing like that, I think Boston said, we're going to live with that and make sure that we have someone almost like a sweeper in football, innit? Where you just have someone cleaning up if anyone gets past the centre backs. I think that's exactly what Boston went out and did with Robert Williams. I think that made a massive difference. Marcus Smart was hitting big shots as well. I have to give Marcus Smart some credit because I've been talking a lot of shit about him in the last couple of years in terms of like his decision making and his shot making as well. And that I was saying Malcolm Brogdon to start over him, but I get it. It makes sense to me, and he's a vet leader as well on that team. Tyrese Maxey, I think, was the brightest, one of the brightest sparks for Philly. But again, the body language of them, man, was just arse. Like, Tatum was going on this run, and I feel like they wanted the timeout more than anyone else. And I just feel like I saw them looking like flailing their arms.
They was deflated, man. They gave up.
Lifting up their shoulders and like, what's going on? Like, no one was really saying nothing. They weren't talking to each other. Because I think they all knew what was happening, man. Like Harden wasn't hot, Embiid wasn't hot. Tatum's killing you lot, and no one's like taking control over it. And I think Doc has to go, bro. Like that's my final thing I'm gonna say as well. Doc has to go. How many years is this man gonna get away with putting up these poor performances, underperforming year after year after year with many teams?
Taking leads as well,
bro. Taking leads in the series as well. I remember we saw that thing on social media about how many games Doc Rivers was in front of in a playoff series before he then eventually goes on to lose, and it's a ridiculous amount, bro. He's lost 10 game sevens.
I think so. 10,
do you know how crazy that is?
10 between that number.
It's 10. Bro. when I go back and look at what he did when he was at the Clippers, and I'm like, I used to think this guy was a sick coach. I was like, oh yeah, we're gonna win like 50 games a season, get us to the playoffs and do it. And Doc will win you 50 games a season, but he is not doing piss in the playoffs, man. That he doesn't make necessary adjustments. So, do you know what, at one point as well, I was worried because Joe Mazzulla's looking like that sometimes, where he doesn't make necessary adjustments. And maybe that's a point that you need to start looking at as well. Take timeouts and kill momentum. Don't let them build momentum like that. How many threes did Boston need to make before Philly took a timeout? Not only that, if you see Jason Tatum's cooking like that, make the adjustments. But say, PJ, you have to defend. There's no one else anymore, man. We'll help you, but you have to be the guy now. No one else can be doing that. Yeah. But allowing Jason Tatum to just cool pick and rolls and get Tyrese Maxey to switch on him and Joel Embiid to switch on him, that's poor coaching. They're on fit. The players themselves are to blame. But you, Doc, if you're the NBA vet, not even NBA vet, NBA legend that everyone talks about, you saying you've won X amount of games and you've got this amount of wins in your total career, you have to do better than that. And 100%. And how long is he going to be allowed, to ride a championship he won more than 10 years ago? It's been 15 years since he won his last championship, in which he's been a coach every single year.
And had a chance every single year.
Pretty much. He's been gifted great teams, man. When he first got to the Clippers, we had Lob City Clippers. Then he was there for our first years of having PG and Kawhi, which was probably our best team because we still had both 6 men of the year. Yeah. You know, we had a good bench around that team as well. Very solid. To him now going to Philly when they had Ben Simmons and all those guys and it's still not working out. To then him getting James Harden, it's still not working. Like what? Doc Rivers needs LeBron James to win the championship. If LeBron's not on his team, he's not winning. Or Steph Curry, one of those two. Because pretty much probably he probably found some way to mess it up. But I just think, I'm all supporting of black head coaches in the NBA. But you're showing your arse and you're showing your mediocrity time and time again. He cannot continue to be a head coach in this league because he's just not it. I think it's time for him to go. I think it's going to look nuts because of the amount of other head coaches, especially black head coaches, Monte Williams as well, which we're going to get into. But I just think you haven't been the person you're supposed to be. And bear in mind, Nick Nurse, Nick Nurse won an NBA championship 4 years ago. Where's he now? His team made the Toronto make the play-in. Toronto didn't make the play-in. No, they didn't because it was Miami and Hawks, exactly.
Yeah, but you could talk about other teams.
Mike's
gone.
They did. It was
Bud as well.
Bud's gone. The last four winning championships.
That's what I'm saying. And all these coaches, Frank Vogel as well. Not even just championship winning, but 3 of those guys had won Coach of the Year in the last 5 years. Mm-hmm. Doc hasn't won any of these accolades, and he's still allowed to coach out here and referred to as a great head coach. I think it's time that Philly move on from him. There's good coaches floating around now as well, where I don't think you'd see much of a drop off. If any, you probably improve in the regular season anyway. But you need a guy who can really coach your guys and get them over the hump because you've got the MVP on your team. You've got a previous MVP on the team. You've got a great young player in Tyrese Maxey. But I just think, at what point do you have to look at the head coach and say, we've given you all the weapons to be successful and you're just not successful?
And you've had weapons other places and you haven't been successful, so...
All right, get the camera on me because I need to talk about Embiid. Get the camera up, man. Yesterday, what we watched was the current MVP prove why he shouldn't have been the MVP. 110%. Game 7, elimination, when it's on the line. Even let's go back to Game 7. Game 6, at home, you're 3-2 up, and you can't close the series. Jason Tatum has 6 points in 3 quarters. He will never ever, clearly as we saw in the remaining 5 quarters, have a worse start to a game. You went on a 6-minute spell in Game 6 and a 6-minute plus spell in Game 7. In both games, you are the MVP. It is on you. You take the onus to ensure during these spells you cut these leads and you get the buckets when it matters. Especially in Game 6 when the Celtics didn't go on such a big run. In Game 7, they went on a big run. It was down to you as the MVP, but you're away from home. They're hitting whatever. In Game 6, neither team was making big plays. The Celtics only scored, I think it was 14 points in those 6 minutes. We're not talking absurd numbers. But if you want to really break down Embiid in the postseason, Embiid in other postseasons, I mean, this postseason, you look at things in stats-wise, I mean, what is it? He had the biggest points differential for an MVP when you're talking what he finished in the regular season to what he averaged in the postseason. Yeah? And you're looking at someone that is regarded as an elite defensive big. That's the difference in what a lot of people understand. We could say he's a Jokic and him can score. We know that. Jokic is a better passer. Cool. Defensively, Embiid. We all going to sit here and say that. Last night, where was that? They went and scored 33 points in a third quarter, and you were nowhere to be seen at the rim. Where was your paint protection? Where is your elite defense? Why were you never ever making it hard? They were calling you and saying, come, let me score around you. You are the MVP. You are the best player in the league this season. You make the most valuable player. You're the reason that your team is so valuable, and you have never been to a conference finals. You had more turnovers than assists in the entire postseason. Yeah, you want to talk about Embiid in elimination? He's 3-6 in elimination. When he's facing elimination, he averages 22 points, 11.2 rebounds, 4.6 turnovers, shooting 38.8 field goal percentage, 25.0 from the three. His regular season averages, we're talking entirely since he's been in the league, is 27.2 points, 11.2 rebounds, 3.4 turnovers, 50% from the field, and 33%. Now explain to me why there's such a big difference when their lights are on Embiid and he is meant to be MVP. Now I'm not going to say he hasn't deserved one over the last few years. It's been 3 years in a row. He's been with Jokic as the top two players in the league and Giannis. But what I'm saying is right now it is shown Jokic is better than him. Jokic is the best player in his position and Embiid is second. Embiid is second to him, and there's no argument to that. He deserves his MVP, and I'm happy for him to have it because from where he's come to his story, I'm happy for him to have had it. However, the notion that Embiid is better than Jokic needs to end. He's the MVP. We know this, but the notion Embiid is better than Jokic is not the case.
Okay,
because
he's one of the first MVPs not to make a conference finals.
No, he's not. Many haven't.
No, more recently.
No, many haven't. The last four.
It's total in their career, but obviously Embiid just won MVP. I just want to quickly, because I don't agree with everything you said in it, because I think getting onto Embiid for
it's a regular season award, cool.
Not even just that. Let's talk because you mentioned defense and paint protection. Embiid still had 2 blocks yesterday. Embiid was still challenging and contesting. Embiid blocked Jason Tatum at the rim last night, but no one's really saying that. It was one play, but I understand. It's not like Embiid wasn't playing defense, but you're asking a 7-foot defender, yeah, to go out there and be tap dancing on the perimeter like that. They shouldn't have never let the switches happen. I'm not saying that, innit? And I feel like I have to be very careful of this because I'm very harsh on Rudy Gobert for the exact same thing. But what I'm saying is, yeah, you're talking about why is Joe Embiid not an elite perimeter defender? What center's an elite perimeter defender? I'm
not saying elite perimeter. I'm saying
you're
yesterday the whole thing.
No, but you're
everything.
Because you're not going to say that he didn't play interior defense. Let's say because he did.
In the entire game, we're saying he has to take the scruff. That's what MVPs do.
I'm 100% offensively, but I'm addressing the defense first. Yeah, I'm addressing the defensive point first. He showed up yesterday defensively. He was just getting cooked by a much faster, twitchier player than him on the perimeter. You can't tell me, Joe Embiid, go defend Jason Tatum on the perimeter.
I'm not just talking about that though.
But I'm
talking about sometimes there was simple switches when the ball was fed inside. Al Horford's gone easy cut to the basket. There's things that can be done to alter certain things. Obviously, we understand he's not perimeter defense. Yeah. He's not going to ever win that duel, especially when Tatum is on. Like we haven't really again, and we're talking about Tatum doesn't score 51 every game, innit? Yeah. But what I'm saying is, yesterday, I want to see, because I am someone that's been a bit advocate over the duration of the season. I'm not going to sit here and do. I listen to my podcast. I know who I am. I wanted Embiid to win it this season. Mm-hmm. Done. What I wanted to see in Game 6 and Game 7 is him prove to everybody why and get past this hump. Mm-hmm. Because this hump is a big hump. And what has happened with Embiid is it's a mental thing. You've had players upon players upon players. You've played with Butler. You've played with Harden. You've played with... What is your excuse now to just get to a conference finals? We said earlier on, a few podcasts ago, you said, Rodney, Jokic has to get to the NBA finals. And I said, at minimum, I need to see Embiid in the conference finals. He's let me down again. At minimum. I said Jokic, at minimum, needs to be in the conference finals. NBA finals should be the kind of the benchmark. We disagreed with that, but when he is the back-to-back. Mm-hmm. Cool. But you're not even in that, Embiid. Again, why? You were 3-2 up. 3-2 up. You had Celtics on the ropes. Getting into the fourth quarter, you were leading. You had your home court advantage. Why have you not closed this out? And I'm going to talk about Doc Rivers because I think he's an absolute joke of a coach. Absolute joke. What I witnessed yesterday, you're looking at this team go on a ridiculous run. They're scoring 15-0. And you're just sitting there on the sidelines with your hands on your hips. What are you doing as a coach?
He was even bending forward like a bad.
I'm thinking, but you are someone that's meant to have won a chip. You are meant to have coached in the league longer than I've been watching it. And I, as a fan, someone that's analysed the game for a long time, can see 8-0 when you're away from home and then cut it, time out. And I didn't see in that, what was it, a 6-minute spell where they couldn't score, a coach draw up a play and say, you know what, simple pick and roll, something easy, backdoor cut, something to just get a bucket and stop the run. Yeah. Timeout. You know when you have a timeout, get a bucket after the timeout, you draw up a play. I didn't see that. So Doc Rivers, howler. And I cannot ignore what I saw from James Harden in this series and in this game, because you are a former MVP. And we know only thing I can touchably excuse Embiid is he's not 100%. Despite the fact he said he's healthy, the only little bit I can excuse Embiid, which I can't really, is that he's not healthy. He's not apparently healthy. Embiid, Harden.
I didn't see that I'm not healthy in some of them games when he was putting up 33 and he was
who?
Embiid.
That's what I was gonna say though, but but everyone knows he is hurt.
Yeah, he's hurt, but he said he's healthy, but I disagree. Harden, on the other hand, though. And I don't understand.
That's nothing new, man.
But it's getting ridiculous because what you're seeing yesterday is Harden is influencing the game more on the turnover side than he actually is influencing and actually being able to make a difference. And I'm seeing reports of him wanting to go back to Houston.
Bro, he was passing the ball to players and people on the front row. I could. Like,
do you remember that one when he threw it?
People sitting courtside, he just threw it left. It was nowhere near anyone else. I don't know what was going on there.
Listen, Harden, like, this is why.
For PF.
When you chat, man, just you need to stop chatting. He's out here saying, "Oh, I'm gonna show people why I'm not this, I'm not that." Bro, I can't lie. Just shut up, man. Like, cool, you had 2 good games where you had like 40 plus, but bro, like, it was game 6. Celtics were on the back end. Should have finished them. Should have won that game. Both the players should have won that game. And in game 7, you lot didn't even go out swinging, which was very, very disappointing to see.
It was that. I think that's the worst part about it, the fact that it wasn't even like competitive.
It wasn't like a game 7, like, ooh, like it was literally just.
I think what we just saw from Harden, though, I think because he had the 240 whatever point games, yeah, I think
he was rinsed.
Most likely, though, innit? Like, he said he could do this all the time if Embiid's not there, but the second Embiid came back, he was looking different. He had the 43-point game where I was like, okay, maybe. But I just think the reality is this is what the guy is, isn't it? Like, I don't know what happens when he comes to that point. I don't want to say he's not clutch, because I've seen him make like be clutch in the regular season. Just the second we hit the postseason, you just can't do it. I'd say going forward, so because Philly has some decisions to make.
Yeah. So what's to end this part? What do Philly do going forward?
So I'm pretty sure Harden's a free agent at the end of the season. If I'm Philly, I don't do it, just because I think Tobias Harris is up as well. I think you clear up some cap space. Tyrese Maxey, I think, will be eligible for an extension this year that will kick in next year. And I say you let Harden walk, you let Tobias walk, and you use whatever money you have to go and get someone else, man. I don't know who or what that's going to look like in it, but I just think there's no point in bringing back James Harden, who's 33.
Yeah.
33, yeah? Mm-hmm. There's no point in bringing back a 33-year-old James Harden, probably on a 3-year 90 or 3. It'll probably be more than that, to be honest, because he said he took his pay cut for this year for them to go get PJ, and it hasn't turned into anything. I don't know what PJ's going to be there next year anyway. I don't know what it's going to look like, but I just don't see a point. There's in my head, there's no real reason to bring James Harden back and think that what's the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. And bringing James Harden back would be a sign of insanity. The team has to change. Yeah. Go on, sir.
I just want to finish off. I know what you were saying about Harden. He averaged 20 in this series, 22 22 points.
Because he had 2 40-point games.
Because he had that. 6.6 rebounds, 8 assists, and 3 turnovers, including 5 turnovers in game 5. Sorry, 5 turnovers in game 6, and another 5 turnovers in game 7. And in game 6, he shot 4 for 16, 25% from the field, 0 for 6.
Nasty work.
Game 7, 3 for 11, 1 for 5 from the 3. So 25% in game 6, 27.3% in game 7, and 0% from the 3-point field in game 6, and 20% in game
And
7.
guess what? There's a 0% chance he's gonna be back in Philly.
The thing is,
Damn.
Darren Moore is still in charge. Right? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it's peak, man. He's gonna be back
Because
in
of like the options are slim outside of Harden. Like, I don't know who they're gonna bring in Dylan Brooks. I don't know. Man. I just don't. In my head, it would be silly. Tobias already got a big contract when he probably shouldn't have anyway.
That
So
was dumb.
if you bring him back, can't be more than 12 mil.
Yeah, I think to be rounded up, I think the Sixers are in a very, very
Tough spot.
because we all said it, and we said it prior to there's just a gap between them, the Celtics, the Bucks, and now I'm even seeing with the Heat. Like the Heat in the playoffs are different, so I don't think Heat are very good. Somehow they're in the conference finals again.
Maybe they're level with Philly.
Who?
The Heat.
The Heat are above Philly. Philly can't get to the conference. They've got to 3 of the last 4. How can they be the same level if they can't even get there?
That's a good
They've
point,
been there
to
since
be honest.
2001. 76ers are
Yeah,
down.
true,
76ers are with Cleveland. They're in that level because
Yeah,
to me,
I can't
you got
lie,
the
I'm
Bucks, the
saying that.
Celtics, and to me, the Heat are with them. Because the Heat are getting to the conference finals as much
Yeah,
as these
the Heat
two
are
are.
3 of the
Yeah.
last 4.
3 of the last 4, you can't moan. With one of them being the NBA finals, you can't complain. 76ers, trash. Put them in the Knicks because, boy, I don't know. What more do you have? MVP season. You've got another MVP, former MVP. You've got a former coach winning, a coach that's won the championship. Get out of here, man. They're useless. They're done out here. Since 2001, they ain't been in the conference finals. It might be another 20 years.
Yeah. So, yeah,
Had to stretch
Philly has a lot of decisions to make in their stinker. Let's go through this one quickly. The Heat versus the Knicks. So
Again, not
very quick series.
not
Not
a great deal to say. I want to give.
Jalen Brunson.
Yeah, no, not even Graham Brunson. The whole New York Knicks,
Yeah.
the fans, the
Yeah.
organization,
Yeah.
even Tibbs. You know, a little bit, not too much, not too much. Yeah, like no, shout out to you lot. You put up a good fight. Taking it to 6 games, I think. You know, you showed us there's a lot going on there, a lot to be worked on as well in terms of going forward. You found your starting point guard in Jalen Brunson, who is like he should have. We said it before. He should have been either an All-Star or NBA, one of the two. But he deserved to be there because his play this season has been great. The way he's elevated you lot from what you were last year. Obviously, the year before you guys were in the playoffs as well. But you guys made it to the second round. You're improving. You're getting better. Your supporting cast is definitely getting better. RJ Barrett showed up. I think the big difference was Julius Randle and you lot not being able to take down the Heat. And just a little bit of a lack of star power. I think Jalen Brunson is now a star. I think you can call him a star.
Yeah.
I think it's fair to call him a star because he
Pretty average, bro. 27.8 points, 5.6 assists, 4.9 rebounds
Star
in
numbers,
the
man.
playoffs.
I think they need to get rid of Julius Randle.
I think they do as well. Only because
I think it's time.
yeah, I think when this is the second playoff series now where he hasn't like shown up.
And it's one of the ones where like even the mistakes that he's made, he's not running back to make up for it. There's a lot of stuff where it's like, fam, come on, man. So yeah, I just think it's time for the Knicks to get
I bet
rid
his
of
numbers
Julius
aren't even that
Randle.
bad, you know.
I know.
They're probably not, but I think it's just time, man.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
16.6 points, 8.3
just- yeah,
rebounds,
that's it, man.
3.6
Time
assists
for him to
in
go.
10 games.
Yeah.
I think it's time for them to move.
That's
away
another guy
from
that was
him.
injured as well, though, remember? He got injured because
Yeah.
Tibbs, it's like, ooh, Tibbs.
37.4% from the field.
Yeah, he shot like us. But Julius Randle was injured, remember? He got injured with 5 games to go in the regular season.
Yeah, because
After playing
Garbage minutes,
every
like,
single
yeah.
game of the season prior to that.
Because he has that record, isn't
Mhm.
it? Yeah.
Every single game, every game of the season prior to that, I think when they were at 77 games, he got injured in that game.
Yeah.
Came back just when the playoffs started. You know, he had a few hot games, had a few not hot games, but I think the moral of the story is Tibbs needs to use his rotation a lot more.
Yeah,
There's no need for, and I know it sounds ridiculous because there's 82 games a season, and people say back in the day, oh, guys used to play 82. Yeah, guys also only played 5 years in the league, innit? Let's be honest. You know, like we're in a different era now. You don't need to play that many games. Because did he lead the league in minutes as well? He had, 30? No, he didn't. He averaged 30. No, that's the playoffs. How many minutes did he have in the regular season? Sorry. Because I remember seeing at one point he led the league in minutes at like 41 minutes per game.
It's
Wow.
too much, man. Flipping hell.
I just think, yeah, the Knicks put up a great fight. I think I have to give the Heat credit because they've gotten the job done, got them to where they needed to be.
35.5 minutes per game.
That's
in
a
the
lot of
regular
minutes.
season.
They got them to where it's, I think Spo, Riley have just shown, they've been there before, they've done this, they know what it takes. Yeah. Also, once they got past the Bucks, I didn't really see them losing to anyone in the second round. I'm pretty sure you man would agree with me as well. Like the Bucks, in my opinion, would be probably one of the toughest, or probably the second tough until they got to East Conference Final. By far the toughest challenge they were gonna face. I don't have a great deal to say, to be honest, man. I would say though, I still think Jimmy is trending down. I saw a picture of his ankle walking to the game, bro. That thing's swole. Pause. Nah, bro. Like,
yeah. So I mean, trending down. Well, yeah. Obviously that's swollen ankle. So it is what it is. But hey, hopefully,
I'm shocked he can even run, man.
Yeah.
I mean, my final shout out just goes out to Spo. I mean, Spo's never won Coach of the Year. And
What?
He never won Coach of the Year, and he advances to the conference
The regular
finals.
season they coast, but when they won that, when it was first seed that year, could have
But they were the 8th seed. And so the 8th seed that's now got to the conference finals, and he beat 2 coaches who have won the award twice on the way.
Yes,
Wait. Who's the Atlanta's head coach? Quinn Snyder.
Who?
Atlanta's head coach is Quinn Snyder, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wait, so who did Miami play? Miami played who in the first round?
Bucks.
the Bucks.
And Tibbs won Coach of the Year.
Yeah, Tibbs won Coach of the Year twice.
It's despicable.
Chicago, wasn't it? Remember they were the one seed.
He won it in New York as well, didn't
Yeah,
he?
in New York. Yeah.
Despicable.
Yeah. So obviously that series was put to bed very nicely. So preview for the Eastern Conference Final is now part 3. Celtics versus the Heat. So
I think these two have faced each other, I think,
twice.
5 times in the last 10 years, if I'm right in remembering.
Yeah, definitely because the
LeBron.
That'll be more than 10 years then. But
Yeah, so maybe the last 20 years I might be. But
15
it's
would be
3-2. Yes,
Yeah.
20 actually, yeah. 3-2 to Miami, with the most recent victory obviously being Miami Heat in the bubble. It's tricky. It's not tricky. It's peak. Tyler Hero's being out and Oladipo as well makes this so lopsided, man.
Bring Tyler Hero back. Celtics still winning.
Yeah, yeah.
Celtics in 6.
Regardless. I think regardless, even if they're all here, yeah, man. Like you said, I think Himmy Butler's not been since that injury. It's been peak since before the injury. He was him.
Yeah, ankle swollen.
And
Jimmy's gone back to regular Jimmy, innit?
Bro,
he needs an injury.
Ankle's just swollen, man.
So what are you saying?
I
need to get these
you can't say
predictions on
someone's gone
camera.
back to regular when his ankle is the size of a flipping melon, bro.
Okay.
Like he got hurt in game 1. He's gonna have to coast. If you're hurt, obviously you coast, but the team can get it done.
No, so if Miami lose to Boston, you're now gonna say it's because Jimmy Butler was hurt, right?
No, Boston.
I'm just saying. I'm just talking about the trending down. Obviously, because in terms of the trending, like I'm saying, had to rest against New York, especially the performance against the Bucks.
I'm just saying,
the team was enough.
Yeah.
Was enough. They was able to pull off a win, so they were disciplined enough. So it was fine. Obviously, going against the Celtics, we saw what he done last season. Yes, he was good, but like I say, the game 7, there was one shot away. The shot didn't go in. Right, it like we all know the reviews of the shot. Cool. Some said it was a good shot. Some others, or Cam, you alone said it was a bad shot for him.
It was a bad shot, so I missed.
Wasn't it great?
For him, fair enough. He's not a strong 3-point shooter, but yeah, like I said, this series. Like, I'm not saying, oh yeah, Jimmy's injured, so if he miraculously heals and he's back to full health, Jimmy, I'm not gonna say there's no possibility for them to win. If they're, obviously, I know Giannis was injured and such, so cool, but I'm not gonna say there's no possibility of them winning. However, Tyler Hero definitely not being there really hurts them because, I mean, Miami are efficient and they shoot well as well, so that is a good thing that they can actually surround shooters and can kind of go toe to toe with the Celtics. But it's just kind of like the Jimmy Hero that kind of just tips that can allow them to go over the edge or allow them to kind of stretch it a bit far and bam, maybe have one good game and then the rest are all average. Cool. But yeah, the Celtics are on revenge season and I don't think it's going to be a super tough game just because Jason Tatum, obviously, especially if Jimmy's not 100% healthy and he's guarding him, is going to be there's gonna be issues there.
So what's your prediction?
I don't see anyone stopping Jaylen Brown. But I think this will go sevens. You know, I think this will go. Yeah, no, I think it'll go 7. I mean, bro. The only reason I think it'll go 7. I think Celtics will win in 7, sort of similar fashion. Tatum, last 2 games, put it to bed. Just gonna kind of go off of that. Yeah, that's what I think. I think Celtics will win in 7 games. Heat will fight back, man.
The only reason I was asking is because I want to make sure that, like, you know, the same energy that you've given Embiid for being hurt and playing and not playing well.
Oh no. The thing is, I'm just I'm
just checking it. That's it.
I'm like, if Jimmy Butler steps on the court, there is no excuses because you have actually stepped on the court. So
yeah, man.
You've said, you know what, I may be hurt, but I can
good
play.
enough to play.
So, like I said, I've said 100% same thing.
Jimmy Butler's got. They're not even in the same stratosphere at the minute when it comes to. He's getting to conference finals, NBA finals, and B's getting to second rounds. Big differences. Even if Miami Heat prior to the start of the season, if you told me this Miami Heat team will get to the conference finals, I would have laughed because that's clearly would have been the Bucks and the Celtics any day of the week. Any day of the week, that would have been my bet.
And I think the difference as well, at least Jimmy will go out swinging.
But regardless, I just didn't see Miami Heat beating either of those two to be in this position. And they've done that.
Yeah.
They've done what they needed to do. Embiid can't do that. We've seen it time and time again. So Jimmy Butler, 3 conference finals in the last 4 years, including the NBA finals. Boy, there's not even much to say about him and Embiid in terms of comparison in the playoff in the last few years. It's not even close. The only times he didn't make it far is the shortest off-season in NBA history and when he was with Embiid himself. Nothing else to say.
Okay.
Your turn.
I originally said Celtics in 6. I'm going to say Celtics in 5.
Ooh,
I think the
Absolutely
difference in this will be Miami have
That's
played
ridiculous.
against a few teams who struggled with their depth and like teams producing, whereas like, you know, New York didn't even really have enough star power to keep up with Miami, and Miami aren't even like out here scoring crazy or nothing like that. But against the Bucks, the second Giannis went down, like that team just fell apart completely. But Boston are a 2-headed dragon in Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, who at any point either of them two can just decide to go off, and the other one's still going to put up at least 20. And I in my head, I'm trying to think who's defending one or both of them, because like you said, Jimmy's hurt. So is Jimmy guarding Jason Tatum? Is Jimmy guarding Jaylen Brown?
Gonna have to.
But the thing is, I was gonna say whoever one isn't getting guarded by Jimmy, they're just gonna be going crazy. But the one who is guarded by Jimmy, they're gonna try and test him as much as possible as well. So it's gonna be locked. So I'm just gonna say Celtics in 5. I think Miami go 1-1, and I think the Celtics just gentlemen sweep for the rest of it. You know, I think that's it. Celtics take game 1, Miami take game 2, and then Celtics just clean up for the rest of it.
I feel like both teams will win both the home games.
I don't think so. I'm going with you, Cam. It's tough.
5.
The thing about me is I want to say 6. I just don't see how Miami win 2 games. And it might sound crazy now because, Rod's get this up as well. It might sound crazy now because obviously this is prior to it. And I've got a lot of faith in Miami Heat as in like playoff wise, what they can do. I just don't see how they'll be able to win more than 2 games. Like, if Jimmy Butler not being 100%, Bam being ridiculously inconsistent, and I don't believe he's the same defender that he was when they last got here in terms of when in the bubble. Remember that big block he did at Tatum at the rim, the game-winning block? I don't believe he's at that same level. I know he got All-NBA second defensive team, whatever it is, but I don't believe he's that level. But Jimmy Butler not being 100%, obviously Tyler Hero and Oladipo being out, I think the ability to even take this to a Game 7 to me is gone. Regardless, Boston would win. To me, it's 5 at the best 6, but I think 5.
I feel like as well, Bam's gonna have a tough matchup ahead of him. Like if Boston come out in this 2 big man lineup, which is probably what they should do, should be best. I don't even know. I think they'll keep Robert Williams on Bam because Bam's not a 3-point shooter, and they'll put Al Horford on Kevin Love. Yeah. And just switch the way they were doing it, where Al Horford's playing the thing is you can't really help. I think it would still sit the same. You can't really help off Kevin Love because then he'll hit the threes and stuff like that.
That's the thing. I think they will help off Kevin Love for him to hit the threes. And like I said, the reason why I always say, just to kind of finish this up, The reason why I think Miami could probably win 2 games is because they can shoot efficiently from the free. Over this more than 2 games, there could be a 1 game where, if it so happens, if Jimmy goes crazy or the team actually plays consistently good and keeps up, and like you say, Boston has had those slow games, like obviously like Game 6. I know obviously Tatum done what he done, but the games that Philly won, 1 game Philly shot ridiculous, and other games they just kind of battled their way through. So I think Miami can do the exact same thing, and they can shoot more efficiently and better than the Sixers in total.
But can they shoot more efficiently and better than the Celtics?
The Celtics
might be the
Celtics, like I say, Celtics have those games. They have those games.
Yeah.
I think they can have 2 of those games where it's a bit of a slip up.
Okay, no, that's fair.
That's
fair.
I just believe the Celtics are the best team in the NBA. I mean, during the season, it was them and the Bucks. Once the Bucks went out, the onus is on them. Once they signed Brogdon in the offseason, to me, that was it. It would be even worse if Gallinari was here. Like, they are by far the best and well-constructed team in this NBA. They're so wing. Everything about them screams what an NBA team should be. And I think in the West, the Nuggets, to me, are the example. But, yeah, credit to them. They're definitely the best
I feel
team.
silly if the Celtics don't do it,
Yeah, if Miami Heat do it, biggest props. I don't even know what I'll come on this pod and say because, boy.
I'm just going to say this. Celtics have to get there. If Celtics don't get past Miami to the finals, I'm not calling Jason Tatum a superstar anymore.
I don't want to do this anymore. Go
I'm not calling him a superstar.
I'm not doing this anymore.
I'm not calling him a superstar.
Man has not even understood why the potential.
I'm not doing this anymore.
What if Tatum drops 15 every game and nobody else shows?
Huh?
Are you a colorist?
Absolutely not.
How is it possible that you're saying this?
No, he's not even foreshadowed to see what has happened. Like, what if Tatum drops 15 every game? I'm not saying he would, and then the rest of the team don't show up. Like exactly what Booker did. Are you gonna blame?
Is Giannis a superstar still?
Oh, that's what we're gonna do.
I'm just asking you a question. Is Giannis a superstar?
Bro. Huh?
Is that a superstar?
Is Giannis a superstar? Because he lost to Jimmy. Is Giannis a superstar?
I'm not saying because he lost to Jimmy though.
What are you saying?
I'm saying if Tatum don't will this Celtics team pass this.
But I'm saying Giannis didn't will them pass.
You can't. After last night, you're still questioning if this guy is a superstar.
He is a superstar.
But how can that change?
But I'm just saying, no. But come on.
Last night, it cemented him as a superstar.
Bro, he averaged 30 for the season.
Stop talking, Cam. You're wasting your
He averaged 30 for the season. He had 16 in the 4th quarter of Game 6. He had to a must win, and then came back in another must win game and dropped 51.
And you don't think he's a superstar? There's still question mark.
Get out of here. Get out of here. Is Jimmy a superstar?
Can I wait?
Is Jimmy a superstar?
Is he a superstar?
Yeah.
He's been a superstar.
No, he's a playoff superstar. He's not a regular season.
Yeah, not in a regular season.
He's a playoff superstar.
He's a playoff star, 100%. But no, I'm just saying, look, yeah, in the finals last year, Tatum got schooled. Yeah, they really put Tatum on his ass.
Rodney.
And Tatum was out here saying, I don't know where this conversation about superstar came from.
He is a young, it was his first NBA
he's 25,
it was his 24.
Not in that. The thing about the old days, they're the old days.
100%, yeah. And if the old days come new in this next series, then he back to the old days.
Rodney, I cannot believe this.
Listen, man, it's still questioning.
Listen, I have to do this.
No, you don't.
There's a reason why,
No,
but I'm going to explain off cam.
Listen.
I don't want to say it on camera. Yeah? Okay, cool. So let's fly through these. So West Side, Lakers versus, obviously, Lakers won Game 6 against the Warriors. And, Lord of mercy.
Do you know what, yeah? I feel like watching that series
Put them away.
Put
them away. You're not even in the finals.
I
swear, you better win because I'll tell you now.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, but
is it?
Let back to full. No, watching this series was, for me anyway, just made me appreciate LeBron James even more. Also, the Lakers, like Rob Pelinka,
I'm gonna blur it out.
Rob Pelinka didn't do nothing.
I'm gonna blur it out.
Rob Pelinka didn't do a damn thing for most of the season. But when it mattered the most, and that trade deadline was approaching, he made sure to put you guys in the best position possible.
I wanted him gone, so I don't know how he managed to make that.
Bro, you guys are gonna have to give him a 5-year extension because seriously, because
for real,
he turned Russell Westbrook, Pat Beverly into
and Thomas Bryant
into
D'Lo,
Rui,
Vanderbilt. Roy was just 2nd round picks, which is crazy as well. I don't want to say Beasley was not great, and Mo Bamba as well. But you just completely addressed majority of the needs that you needed. The Lakers now have shooters, which you guys were drastically like in need of. Lonnie Walker is finally getting some more minutes as well and showing up for you. But not just that. LeBron is just in a position where he doesn't have to do too much all the time.
And he's good, especially with that.
That's what he should be. He's 38. That's what he should be doing, though, isn't it? AD is not necessarily showing up every single moment that you need him. However, defensively, he hasn't skipped a beat, man.
Yeah.
And I think that matters more than him putting up 30 points a game, because you guys can get scoring from the rest of your team now, even if AD's only having 15 to 19. But it's his defensive presence that makes such a big difference. The Warriors were cooked, bro. The Warriors were cooked. I think Steph looked visibly the most upset I've seen him look in years. That year when he lost in 2019 to Toronto, you could see that was frustration, but because KD tore his Achilles and Clay tore his ACL, there's not much he could do in that situation.
True.
But Clay was out there shooting tour dates, straight arse for the whole series.
He was.
Jordan Poole, I don't know. The thing about Jordan Poole as well, which I found it a bit funny.
Yeah.
I didn't like how they saw that Jordan Poole wasn't having the best of games and slowly but surely started reducing his role, but could see that they were still losing games, bro. Like, they weren't any better for sitting him out.
Yeah, I agree.
And I feel like that has to highlight something. Like, he's not the reason you were losing games. Whereas Clay, who was still shooting arse for the whole time, was still playing as many minutes, if not more minutes. Wiggins obviously had the rib injury a bit later on and couldn't show up as much. And Draymond wasn't even really bad in my opinion, but people were making jokes that Draymond couldn't defend nothing because he was in front of his boyfriend, and LeBron was chefing them boys up. I just think it was. This could be the real end of Golden State. I think
Golden State dynasty.
they've already said if Clay wants to come back, he's got to take a discount.
Right, let me get this.
If Draymond wants to come back, he's probably gonna have to take a bit of a discount as well, because they're not the players that they used to be. And Draymond's still effective, but it just doesn't start up in the stat sheet. And I don't know how valuable that is to a team anymore. When you got Steph Curry running around there, like we've already said, the guy's doing mileage every single game, running around the whole court, and you know he's tiring himself out, putting up decent numbers. But even he struggled shooting as well, man. Like this live or die by the three thing, I understand it. I really do, because it's worked for them for so long, but it's now looking like it's not working as well. And I say this, which is crazy, because they won an NBA championship last year playing this style of basketball, but I think the league has started to go back to more valuing the big man and, you know, having more bigger players to make a bit of a difference. And every team can shoot now as well. That's the thing. They're not an outlier team like they used to be. Yeah. They used to be one of the only teams that took as many threes and made as many threes. But every team in the league is shooting like that now. And I just feel like it's not separating them enough anymore for them to really be, you know, up there. And I'm saying this, watch how they come back next year and win another NBA championship. It's extremely likely it's possible. I think Steph showed up. I don't think anyone else on this team really showed up and did what they needed to. And, you know, when your leader's there doing this thing, it should inspire the rest of your guys. And I just think I think also Kuminga as well. He wants more minutes. He's not getting enough minutes. He has a reason to argue, complain, and fight for it.
He said that he ain't come back if he ain't getting minutes.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think the Warriors are going to look a bit different next year.
I want to chime in on a couple things just to go on to your point. I think Steph Curry, I mean, applause to him again for being absolutely outstanding. He averaged 30.5 points. Shooting 46% from the field and 36.3% from the three. He was outstanding all playoffs. That 50-point game against Sacramento really was the performance of the playoffs.
The old Game 7 record.
Yeah, the old Game 7 record prior to yesterday, and the performance of the playoffs, but is still alongside of Tatum as the performances of the playoffs. And you're looking at a Golden State team, to me, that you saw in round one, that potentially that there's a team that plays in a style that is very, very different and very modern day in Sacramento. And taking them to game 6, taking them to 7 games, you kind of saw with a bit more experience, they might not have even got to the second round, because I think Sacramento Kings will learn from this, probably get to the second round next season, and to me are a team that you saw in the first round with a bit more experience and naivety in certain moments. Gonna learn from it. In the second round against us, I think they played well in moments, in spurts. Like you said, the live and die by the three is their game. However, I just don't believe Thompson is performing at an elite level from that to be able to contribute effectively. Dropping of of Jordan Poole to the bench and really reducing his minutes made no sense to me as well. I think the Warriors have a lot of issues because they've got loyalty and money tied up. And loyalty in Draymond Green and Klay Thompson is a lot of money for the value that they are potentially bringing. We're not talking about Klay and Draymond of 10 years ago where they're on their primes. I think Draymond can still offer a lot in defense, but there's still liabilities to what he does in and off the court. Off the court, as we know with Golden State, the biggest issue going into the season, before game one even started, we'll talk about them being defending champions, the biggest news line outside of the NBA season, which has obviously been capped twice, literally, by Ja Morant, is the punch. And that punch really set the tone. I mean, the punch set the tone from Draymond to Poole, set the tone about the new gen and the old gen, the vets and the new guard in the team. And to me, it's created that tension between the older core and the younger core. And I think when you're looking at where that really set the tone and even what over the course of the season, Jordan Poole's responses to it being just business. It's just business. It's just business.
Yeah.
That aspect, that element of it, even when I was watching like Game 6 last year, like Draymond did a nice cut to Poole, he's all pointing at him. You see that love was there. I just believe there was something that was split within their team this season that they tried to magnify. And to me, I don't want to make it sound crazy, but on the road, you saw it work more. Like when you're on the road, you got fans kind of not roaring for you, on you. You saw a bit more of the team divide, hence the reason they were so poor on the road the entire season. And to me, Golden State, great franchise. Steve Kerr has lost his first series outside of the NBA Finals, which shows how dominant Golden State have been in the Steve Kerr era. However, I do believe, I said it during the season. Remember, I said it. I will put everything on the line and say Golden State will not win the chip this year, and this is what's happened. Because I just saw it during the season that they're not equipped. Thompson's not strong enough for them to win it. We saw with Boston last night, you need snipers, you need scoring from all facets, all three levels. And to me, they've got the greatest scorer of all time still producing at the three and not much else. Like Klay Thompson's the second greatest shooter alongside Ray Allen. However you want to talk about it, he's not producing from the three. He's not really producing anywhere else. Defensively, he's not the same player. Draymond was never a great scorer, but Draymond was a facilitator, someone that would do a lot of different things. He's not producing. With Jordan Poole declining in some of his numbers as well, there's not much scoring and offense outside of that. So kudos to them, but I'm here to talk about my team because, I have to give ourselves credit, man. Like, we are in a position I never thought we'd be in. Like, for me to be saying 15 teams in the West and we're the remaining 2, no chance. Not a single chance.
You going to give your boy his name?
The Lakers.
No, Darvin Ham.
You said... No. All right. I said... He's Darvin. All right, Darvin.
If you make it to the Western Conference Finals, you'll call him Darvin.
Darvin, you've been redeemed.
That man by his name.
No, but I'll be honest. We said it as soon as you put Lonnie Walker and you took out Troy Brown's minutes. You started adjusting.
I can't believe brothers that were getting minutes though.
Like, but and the Malik Beasley. You saw what Lonnie Walker was doing. Like, he was starting for us in the season.
On both sides of the floor.
Both sides, and he's so effective. Like, Lonnie Walker dropped, I think his season high was like 38 or something insane. He went off. And there was a period in time when he was dropping between 25 to like 35. He was just going off. I've not seen Troy Brown ever do that. Has Troy Brown even got 35 points for us?
Troy Brown is Darvin Ham's stepson or something like that. He has to be.
There's no reason why he still gets minutes, but I have to give credit to what we did. I think Game 6, we saw vintage LeBron. Like last week, we spoke about LeBron being 3-1 up. Obviously, Golden State got Game 5. He couldn't afford for it to get to Game 6 and potentially get to Game 7 at the chase. But what we did, LeBron just said he set the tone. He got 39 and 9. He controlled that game from minute 1 to minute 48, whatever it was. And we went on a massive run in the first quarter we started strong. The second quarter we went on a big run. And the third quarter we almost done it. We finished it by then. I think that buzzer beater by Reeves was amazing to watch. The block, I mean, that's epitomizes us since the trade. Block from Davis on the defensive end, swings it out, running. It's a beautiful shot by Reeves, and you're seeing we've got a lot of different scoring. I think Reeves had 23 in that game.
Yeah.
Like we have it. D'Lo didn't have it. I think he had 17, but the game before he had 20 something. You've got
17 is nice, man.
It is nice, and I think that's what we're seeing. I mean, more than Embiid last night. We're seeing more. we're seeing loads of players chip in, and that's the good thing. Like Lonnie Walker came off the bench, got 14, more than Harden last night. And to be very honest, it's nice to see our players get the props. I think Lonnie Walker got a big thing. I don't know if you guys have seen that what Steph Curry wrote for him. The shirt.
Yeah.
I won't forgive you.
I won't forgive you.
Game 5.
And it's credit to him. Game 4. Credit to him because everyone has kind of got their shine at different moments in this. For us personally, like AD's had his shine, D'Lo's had his shine in the game, Reeves has had his shine when I'm him, Lonnie Walker's had his shine. So it's good to see a lot of different people contributing, and I think we have what it takes to win the whole chip. I think the next 2 series, to me, like I said last week, we need to see AD play at the level he was playing in the bubble, because I think I trust LeBron. I trust some of the supporting cast that we've got. A big shout out to Rui Hachimura. Big shout out to you.
Had a lot of big performances for you.
Yeah, man. Like both series. And I just feel like between the players I've mentioned, we have enough to win the chip. But I think against the Nuggets and the Celtics, to me, if we get past the Nuggets, that's it. That's where it is. Between 3 out of the 4 of us, whoever delivers wins it all. And I think LeBron has to kind of show why he's the greatest player left in it. And that's where we go from, man. It's going to be tough, but I'm here for it, man. Proud of the boys, though. Proud of them.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah. Lakers are looking very good, very well balanced. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do. Other side on the Western Conference, Nuggets and Suns. So obviously the Nuggets won in 6 games.
Yeah, it went further than it should have, but yeah.
Pardon?
It went further than it should have.
Yeah, I mean, I always gave Suns two.
No, but at the start of that series, yeah, everyone was surprised if you said it was going to go 6, just because Phoenix have 0 bench. And it was exposed during the Clippers series that everyone realised Phoenix have no bench. Outside of their starters, they were getting minimal scoring. There were games where Phoenix's bench had 4 points.
Combined.
Guess who showed up in game 6? Who was on the bench, who started? Your West.
Your boy.
Team had 31 in a
Big dog.
elimination game.
Big dog. Certain man ain't done that before. You get me?
KD was asked. Booker was asked. I just think it was bound to happen. I really wanted Phoenix to win that series, and I don't know why I wanted it, because if they met the Lakers in the next round, they were getting smoked, bro. Because there's no depth on that team whatsoever.
Yeah, and do you know, AJ, is like, obviously them taking the Nuggets to 6 games, it does show. Obviously, they had to get amazing performances from Booker and KD in 2 games. Yeah. However, all the other not every game was a blowout. Besides, I think Game 6 was kind of, but I don't remember if Game 5, 1, and 2 was. No,
they weren't like crazy far off. However, you could see that Phoenix were missing something that they needed to win some of those games.
Yeah, so it was one of the ones where, like I said, the Nuggets had more depth, and like I said, KD and Booker literally had poor games. Obviously, Nuggets took advantage of that. Booker in elimination games is
shaky, very shaky.
It starts to become frightening.
It's tough because he was really, really good in these playoffs, man. He really was really good.
I'm not going to criticize him much, man.
The one game he took off was the game he needed to show up the most. But I just think I want to put it down to fatigue, but you're right, though. This is the second time now Phoenix have had their backs blown out, no pause.
I mean, you're looking at the 2 scorelines.
Bro, it's
half-time last season.
bro, it's meant to be.
Half-time last season against the the Dallas Mavericks, it was 57-27. 12 months on, at half-time, it is 51-81. 30-point deficit.
At home. Like, I think Phoenix were at home for the other game as well, weren't they? Yeah, they were. Bro, that's 2 years in a row now. You've been blown out in an elimination game in the Western Conference semifinals.
Yeah, exact same position.
And you know what? The first time was worse to Luka because the Suns were way more OP than the Nuggets. And in this one, they don't have Chris Paul. Ayton might as well not be there as well. That guy is the most mid-center I've ever seen. I can't lie.
Yeah, number 1 pick, you know.
Watch, and you have to talk about the other guys that were in that draft. Luka,
Trey,
Trae Young,
yeah.
Jaren Jackson Jr., Shea, Michael Porter Jr. Like 5 guys who I just listened to all went in the lottery, yeah, who would have all been better than having Ayton on that team. So it's very, very tough. Going forward now, let's talk about it. Phoenix decided to fire their head coach in Monte Williams.
Yeah, and it was back. That was a roster issue.
It was. Oh, thank you. That's exactly what it was. I don't understand why you're firing the guy who's gotten you to this point, because you wouldn't say that this year, after all the roster, like you said, the roster issues they had, they made a big trade to get Kevin Durant and did not have enough time to put any other talent around the rest of them guys. There's a lot of talent in that starting 5, but when you're firing a man after Chris Paul got injured and had to miss the rest of the playoffs, DeAndre Ayton just wasn't showing up. So realistically, you're firing him because Devin Booker and Kevin Durant couldn't have 120 points combined. That's what you're telling me. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. Who else on that team are you expecting to now contribute and be the reason that you win? Because yes, I would take Kevin Durant and Devin Booker over Jokic and Jamal Murray if it was just a 2v2, but it's not. It's a 5v5 with a bench as well, and you can't even put 5 guys up to get together on Phoenix that'll be able to compete against that against Denver's starting 5. It's embarrassing to me that they've done this. I think it's a poor showing. And it's a complete opposite of a situation with Doc Rivers, where Doc Rivers is given multiple opportunities. Monte Williams was the head coach when Phoenix were in the bubble, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You've seen that team grow in a 5-year window, yeah? From where they were to just missing out on a playoff spot to now being one of the better teams in their conference. Yeah. And they're competitive every single year. And I just feel like it's silly in my head. I think the only reason they would fire him is because they knew who they wanted to take over. And I think they saw someone like Bud or Nick Nurse who had been fired just before that and said, you know what? We see an opportunity to go and get that guy, so we're going to let go of Monte. That's if they don't come back with either of those 2 head coaches, though, what are you doing?
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's embarrassing. Like you correctly said, you as a franchise, they hadn't been to the playoffs for, what was it, 15 odd years?
Yep.
Prior to that, there was big rumours. Like when you're talking superstars that hadn't played the playoffs, like Booker, big rumours and big things about him needing to leave because he needs to go somewhere where he can play regular playoff basketball. The Suns weren't surrounding around anything. There was no talent coming to him. You've seen them countless times muck up by getting all these Eric Bledsoes, all these guys, Brandon Knights, all these random guys that have come in and come out that you think, oh, it'll fit in with Booker. All flop. You got Ayton and Booker, it still wasn't working. But luckily, you got a coach, and you saw in that bubble, they were the only team to go undefeated. They went 8-0, if I remember correctly. Yeah. And they played some exhilarating basketball. At the end of the season, it was emotional. You saw what Monte was crying. He got the job. Everything worked. And what happened since then has been a process, a steady, correct, as you're saying, steady process in them slowly get into the playoffs, get into the NBA finals. Last year was poor, but they were in the semi-finals. Again, this year was poor, but they're in the semi-finals. Clearly, anyone with a smart ass brain can see it's a roster issue. Once that 100%. Kevin Durant trade was made, all they got back was TJ Warren and KD, and they let go Cam Johnson, Mikal Bridges. These are people that were so key to the way they played off the bench and contributed on both ends of the damn floor.
Ian Bill, they got nothing left, bro.
They got, and it's peak. Like, and it's peak. End of the day, like, you're looking at it and you're saying, like, there's things that could have been done this season that I think, damn, that was wild. I think Monte Williams should have been given a chance to
100%.
To replicate, because they could do something around Rodney's gone. You could do something around Ayton.
I keep picturing Ian Bill, bro. That scene was peak, bro. That polo was dead as well, bro. Them G's with the
Yeah, you could get something for Chris Paul, and you can get something for Ayton, and you can rework it and able to. Because I was reading it, and let me get some of the.
Yeah, they're aggressively shopping Chris Paul.
They're aggressively shopping
both of them.
It's because they
sense.
that four take up 164 million of the payroll,
That's
which is
over 100%.
87% of the entire payroll. 87%.
Yeah, but of their payroll. But bear in mind that number is over the cap.
The cap.
So I'm
I'm
they're
talking
paying luxury tax.
87 of the Suns' committed payroll.
Yeah.
No, sorry, it's 8.
87%.
They take over 87% of the 164 million payroll. Sorry, that's not their contracts combined. That's ridiculous. There's nothing. What else can you? So they have to rework those contracts, like you correctly said. What we did with Russ, turn that into pieces because that's what they need. And it's like Monty Williams surely should have been given a chance.
Yeah, I don't think he should have been punished because, first of all, because obviously that was his performance. Not much you can do. And one thing that's been consistent is that Chris Paul's always been hurt and not showing up. Constantly, like after that, obviously in the final year, 2 games cool. Then after that, got smoked. Year after that, same thing, hurt, smoked. Year after that, hurt. Like, it's not Monty's fault. It was a roster issue. And I think they should have actually tried to
give him a chance.
Because
this team ranked second last.
Like you have to deep
in bench scoring.
They're aggressively shopping 2 guys who take up 87% of the P's. Think about what they're going to get back. Look at the free agent guards that are available. Like Trae Young's being shopped. Don't know about John T. Murray, but there's still Westbrook's there, Kyrie there. There's actually players that can. So I think you should actually have given him a chance because if they put a competent PG that's not gonna flipping be on crutches every single flipping playoffs, bro, that's a different story.
It's true. I think and this should be the last thing because we should move on anyway. I think one thing that made me think maybe this is the reason it happened. They got a new owner, innit? Like everything's different over there now, innit? Maybe they're trying to say, you know, we see what's not working, and maybe Monty needs to go as well. I don't agree, but that is what it is. Maybe they just want a fresh start.
Yeah.
But I understand, like, you got one of the flakiest superstars in the league on your team, and Kevin Durant, who, if he ain't happy, he'll just leave, innit? Like we've seen it.
He's been a bit. The past 2 postseason, he's been a bit mad.
Last one definitely. This one he showed up though. I can't lie.
Obviously, yeah, too,
just obviously not in the elimination game. He didn't show up at all. I'll be honest. I'll say that that's fine. But you know, I think to some extent you have to look at the fact that they really didn't have anything. Like it was just him and Booker running ISO the whole time. That might be why Monte got fired. I ain't seen him run much of offensive any.
Yeah. What else can you do?
So what do you mean? What else can you do?
You can do a lot.
I believe you can do more, but I'm like,
how many times?
When what you're working with?
No, but when they ran plays, there were so many times. Even when it was matched up, Booker would be like, "Oh, KD's open."
Yeah, no.
And the Bulls must have been like that's the thing. So
yeah, it's a tough one, isn't it? Obviously, they worked together for very long as well, so that could be part of it anyway. But yeah, Phoenix, I'm not impressed.
Not impressed at all. Okay, to finish off because of time.
The predictions, well.
Quick predictions
of the
Western Conference.
Yeah, so this is
okay.
it. We'll finish off with the preview Western Conference Finals. So now it is Lakers versus the Nuggets. So, what y'all think? And the thing is, bearing in mind, what I want to say is right, real quick. Yeah, when they played the Timberwolves, Jokic didn't go as mad because obviously, even though, like, okay, cool, Gobert. Not saying that he completely shut down Jokic, but Jokic didn't score no 53 points, no bullying like this.
Yeah.
And one thing that the Timberwolves done well, but they just didn't execute with the rest of the people, is just that they were attacking the basket a lot. Anthony Edwards. So a lot of the games were close. Moving on now with the Suns, those guys weren't attacking the basket. It was more like a game of jump shooting.
That's what they're doing. That's their games, though, isn't it? Got 2 mid-range shooters.
That's the thing. That's what happened. Now you're going up against a team who can attack you from the outside and from the inside. And because they like to play Jokic in the pick and roll up high, that skip pass is going to be very, very crucial. And it's going to cost. It's going to be a lot of. It's going to be very, very tough.
You got the best possible player to make a skip pass of all time in LeBron James.
And
man.
Outside of that, D'Angelo Russell, as we've seen countlessly make that pass. Austin Reeves, we've seen even make the pass. Like we've seen the team do it. So
white boy, nice.
It's one of the ones where it's a very balanced series, but there's ways. Obviously, both can win. However, is very good in terms of how AD matches up against Jokic, because especially how he's been defensively is going to be very tough. They're going to really cancel each other out. That's what I believe. But yeah, the Nuggets can win. I think what's going to be especially key for the Nuggets is flipping Bruce Brown is going to be very, very key because wait. He's going to have a good part to play in terms of off the bench just because we already know what. Oh, come on, man. Nah, look, hear me out.
Bro, all these you're talking about 2-time MVP on one team.
Yeah, because
a 4-time champion and 5-time MVP. A 4-time MVP.
Yeah. I'm talking about the Nuggets. I'm talking about. I'm saying, look, we all know what Jokic is going to do. Yeah. no, take me serious.
No, I hear you though.
We all know. Man's not even letting me. No, but look, I'm saying because we all know, like I say, AD and Jokic going to cancel out. We all know that's going to be a great thing to do. Jamal Murray, I don't know. I'm not saying he's going to be poor, but you have to understand that Dennis Schroeder and Vanderbilt have just come off guarding the best shooter in the world, running around with him. And to me, I don't think Jamal Murray's conditioning is better than Steph Curry, and he's running around like that, especially with the injury that's still lingering. And he doesn't. That's not his game to run around screens. So now those two aren't running around screens like that. When they've just faced that kind of point guard. For me, if I'm Vanderbilt, I'm thinking, I'm guarding Murray and I've just finished guarding Steph. I'm not saying it's easy work, but it's going to be easier work, 100%. Cool. And if they're able to say, okay, Jokic beat us, but the rest of the team is getting shut the blood clot down, Jokic dropped 53 against the Suns and lost. And who was guarding him? That butterfly that they call Ayan. Come on. So it's going to be techie, but the timely shots that come from KCP, Bruce Brown, MPJ is going to be tough. Okay. But if Bron doesn't, he should. If you don't play in the post against Gordon and MPJ and bullies them, he's going to shoot himself.
What's your prediction, please, Rodney?
I'm just previewing the whole thing.
Okay, what's your prediction, Rodney?
What's my prediction? My prediction.
But we got to go in 2 minutes. What's your prediction?
I got Nuggets in 7.
Okay. That's fine.
Fine, you got that on camera. Hope you're wrong.
I'm not gonna go on a long storytelling moment.
I had to explain.
No, that's fine. I understand it. I'm gonna go Goat Man in 6. I think LeBron is gonna have to come out. If LeBron could come out and win Game 1, I think it will definitely be a 6-game series for the Lakers. I think Jokic is gonna have his way regardless. I think it's how you can stop the other guys that will be effective. And even with AD on him, I just think Jokic right now is, like you said, like the best center in the league. And his ability to not only score and rebound, but distribute the ball as well is going to be very, very key for Denver. And if they're knocking down open shots, Denver could easily win this series if they're knocking down open shots. But I just think the Lakers, in terms of their depth, and I'm trying to think about Denver in terms of their depth as well. Also, Michael Green was talking his shit when he's on the Warriors and stuff like that. And we've seen what happened when Dylan Brooks was doing the same thing. If any of these Denver guys decide to start piping up a bit,
I don't think anyone's going to.
Because I think they know better, right? They know better because we see what happens. They know better. But yeah, I'm gonna say Lakers in 6. I think this will be the first series we see LeBron have to, and he did it a little bit against Golden State. I think he's gonna have to be on from Game 1, like on, like ready to go. Yeah.
Might as well get me, Rodney.
Pause.
No, yeah, for real, pause. Very, very quickly. Yeah, I think very, very big series for us. I believe it'll be us in 6. It's been us in 6 the first 2 rounds. But because we haven't got home court advantage, it's very important for us to obviously get a road win early and then be in a position at Game 6 to close it. So I feel that will happen again. I think it's Lakers in 6. Last time you won the chip, it was Lakers in 5. So this time it's Lakers in 6, baby. Key player for us will be Goat Man. I think AD and Jokic will have to do their battles at the rim and everything they're going to be doing, pause. But LeBron, to me, is going to be the difference maker because I think LeBron is the guy. Close that shit out, man. Lakers in 6, baby.
One thing I will say as well to finish off,
yeah,
for the Lakers to really get that win in 6, there's 2 things they got to do on offense. Is attack Jokic and Murray. I'm not saying Jokic doesn't have great conditioning, but attack him to make him play defense.
Yeah, and get them in foul trouble.
Yeah, make him play defense, get in foul trouble, and then he has to try and do it on offense and attack Jamal Murray on defense as well, so that all that shiftiness that he's, like I say, that he probably does and how he gains play when you attack him and make him play defense is gonna hurt them. That's what they've done with Steph Curry, and You know, so I think that would be very good. I think those are two important things that
We need to get to the
Lakers
free throw
need to
line
do.
again, man.
Yeah,
that's
definitely.
that's it.
Yeah.
We need to get to the free throw line. Put them in foul trouble.
The NBA script working, bro.
Yeah, let's get it.
Very. I know we ain't got time for this. Quickly, the draft lottery is this week. I'm not going to talk about anything else other than the fact that whoever wins this, are getting themselves. In fact, I would say everyone. The top 3 picks in this draft are going to be good. Number 1 pick though, you're set for life, innit? I'm very excited to see who's going to.
San Antonio.
It's not going to be a question as to who they're taking it. It's
San
just
Antonio. I'm rooting for you.
Slightly, I don't. I think it's going to be like a mad. Someone's going to like jump up. I think that's what it'll be. But yeah. Yeah, then Wemby sweepstakes.
We'll see,
It's important. This time next week we'll know where Wemby's playing, so it's vital. That shit vital.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening to us. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, post notifications, share the episode, all of that good stuff. You know what I mean?
Fighting now, Dave.
Yeah, sort it out, mate. Sort it out, please.
Yeah, sort it out, sort us out, we sort you out, everyone gets sorted out, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Mate.
Okay.
It's going
So
on.
yeah, man, thank you very much for rocking with us, and all I want to say is Julian,
Over
take
and
us
out, baby. We outside, baby.
Bye.